As we've got a very special flight tonight. We've got the X-Enviro working, so we've got everything in this evening. Going for a Eurowings flight from Berlin, and we've got Orthos in, which are going to take us down into Salzburg as we get the lovely Orthos. See, the weather isn't all too good, so should bring the X-Enviro to life as we come down today. So, going to take the 737-800 out as we depart out on our journeys, and it should be a really nice scenic flight today as we've got the glare in for the sun. So, don't forget to like and subscribe, guys, leave your comments down below. And now we can get inside the cockpit and start the aircraft up and ready for our departure route of lovely Berlin today. Okay, so we're in the 737-800 now, ready to do our lovely flight with X-Enviro today, down into Salzburg. So, we'll go and do our pre-flight checklist. So, we've got the parking brake, which is set. Go overhead now, get the battery on and guarded, standby power is guarded, and ground power is on, which is checked. Left center pump can go on as we get the APU all ready to go. From there we get the position lights on, which are checked. We don't need our logo lights. Cabin lights with emergency exits can be armed, which are checked. Passenger signs can now go on. Start to light up the overhead now as we go to our PACX, etc. So we can get the trim air on with the PACX. Isolation valve is open and the APU bleed can go on. Iris mode selectors, which can now be set. So we'll go overhead now, we'll get the iris selectors, test the flaps. Make sure they're working all good. Go ahead and test the flight recorder. And we'll test the speed warning. We'll get our stall warning on after the electrics are fully up and running. So we'll go over down to our front panel. Now we'll have to use the 2K version of the Zibo in order to get the lovely X-Enviro to run to a stable level. So from our PACX now all set and on, the iris mode selectors are on to nav, which are set. So we'll go down into the FMC now and get the aircraft all ready to go. So we'll just make a view for the FMC. Okay, which is set. So we'll go in and get our positioning today. So we're going from Echo Delta Delta Bravo. Going and get the IRSs in. From there we'll go to our route. Going to be coming down for Lima Oscar Whiskey Sierra. On for our departure, we're coming out for runway 07 left, and on the charts we are going to be taking today, we're taking the Lurus 1 Delta, as we then stream up and take that left turn, or we could take a nice up and around turn, 5,000 feet, whichever way we go. So we'll take the Lurus 1 Delta, which is in. So from Lurus on our route, we're going to be going direct to Bebku. From Bebku we're then going to be heading down onto the Zulu 36, which is then going to take us down to Marum. From Marum we're then going to go direct to Vesub. From Vesub we've got the Tango 106 to Netes. From Netes we're then going to take the Tango 700, which will head us down to Badit. And then from Badit we're then going to be coming in for the Badit 1 Romeo. Going to be transitioning off the Salzburg VOR. So the Badit 1 Romeo, we're coming in for the ILS 415, and we are transitioning for Salzburg. As we can see on our charts, once we come in on the arrival, we're basically going to come down for Badit 4000 above onto the 163. Then once we get down to the Salzburg VOR, which is our initial approach fix runway 15, we'll be 4000 above, and then in for the approach from Salzburg, we'll take the 175 onto the 153. We start at 4,000 feet, 8 DME from the Oscar Echo Sierra VOR ILS, should we say. So 8 DME out from the localizer. We're then going to start that descent down, which is going to be the 3-degree glide path, and our missed approach point is 1.6 DME away from the airport. So, as we've got the FMC all done with our route, we can now go over to the route, we can activate that up, we can go over to our perf now. On for our weights and our fuel, we've got 6.1 that we need today, and we've got 8.7, so 2.6 is reserves. Cost index is going to be 56. Going out for 280. In for our ISO, we have 163031. And that will give us a minus 35. Okay, which is set. Transitions 5000 as we come out. Take max takeoff, take climb 1 coming out. So we'll go for flaps 5. Go in and get our winds. We've got 140 at 09. Okay, which is setting. 1000 to climb thrust, so we can leave everything there, that's fine. As we come in, we'll get our centre of gravity as well. So 22.8, which is set. So we've got 145, 146 and a 154 for V2. So 154, we can activate the flight directors now. QNH is going to be 1014. Okay, which is checked. So before we switch over, we can check the APU. So we'll check got the overheat detection. Got the overheat detection. Test the bottles. And we can test the cargo heat. Conco test our lights. We've got all our lights which are working. And we can also go into our terrain test.
Slide slow. Pull up. Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. Terrain. Terrain. Pull up. Obstacle. Obstacle. Pull up. Airspeed low.
Okay, so we take the 1141, which is going to be the VOR coming out, which is the Bravo India, which is Berlin's VOR coming out, which will then be 10.3 out to make that right hand turn to Lewis. So everything seems to be all above board there, so we'll go to the rest of our checklist now as we come out. So we've got our transponder, which is set to standby, which is set and checked. Our indicated airspeed is 154. Leaving out the runway heading today, 07 is going to be the 063. Okay, which is set. 25 degrees bank. Okay, got the 063, which is set. And we'll just set the other course on the other side just to match, which is checked. Heading for the takeoff is 063. Initial altitude coming out is going to be 4280. Landing elevation down in Salzburg today is going to be 1411. So just put it to 1400. Okay, which is checked. We can now switch over the buses to the gen. So 1400 is set. Put our yaw damper, which is now on and checked. We can get the window heats on, which are also set and checked. From there, flight altitude set for 280. Land altitude is 1410 for 1400, which is also checked. Flight directors are on, which are set and confirmed. LNAV and VNAV as required. We'll run out with the runway heading. As we know, 400 feet we'll hit LNAV, then we'll do our flaps up speeds, and once we get to flaps up we'll hit VNAV, which is also checked. Our altimeter ref is 1014, which is also set and checked. Auto brake RTO, which is set. Com radio has got 114.10 in for Berlin as we depart out, and doors are closed. So we can get all the equipment out now, and we can also turn off the engine bleeds. They're all ready to go, so we can get all of our ground service removed. We can shut the doors, so everything is all set for us now, ready to leave out today over the lovely Berlin. On the taxi is going to be pretty simple. We'll just taxi down Charlie and then make a right hand turn onto the Lima 1. So before start checklist, we can go ahead and call the tug, and then we can get all ready to go. So we put the auto throttle, which can be armed, which is checked. Left and right and centre fuel pumps. So we'll get the left and right pumps on now, and we can get the centres on as well. So we've got 790 in. Electric hydraulic pumps can now go on, which are checked. Anti-collision light, which is on. Parking brake is set, ground equipment is removed, and engine area is clear. So for engine start procedures, we've got our secondary display unit, which is engine, which is checked. Packs can now go off, which are also checked, and engine bleeds are off as well. So we are all set now to go. Engine starts can go to both. As we get ready now to depart, tug's now going to lift up. You can see the lovely glare of the sun coming in for us today.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect. Set parking brake.
Okay, parking brake is set. So we'll go ahead and just set up the reserve instruments. And 1014, which is also set and checked. So we're all ready now to go on for our taxi. As we say, we'll come out of Charlie and then down onto the Lima 2. We'll go straight down onto the runway. Take Lima 1 if we really want. Just get that heads up start. I'm taking full takeoff. 1,000 feet climb will come in.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Okay, parking brake released.
Starting pushback, and you may start the engines.
Okay, so for our start checklist, we have got our packs which are off, which are set. Engine number 2 starter can go to ground. So we've got the start valve which is open. N2 is now increasing, all pressure and temperature will now come to life. 25% will inject fuel, and then the exhaust gas temperature will then start to now is alive, so we can go ahead now and go for engine number 1. So see start valve now is open for engine number 1. You can see N2 is increasing now. All temperature and pressure will come to life. 25% when inject fuel, and then our exhaust gas temperature will start to increase. Now going to drop us down, so we'll go overhead now to our before taxi checklist. So generators 1 and 2 can now be switched over, which are checked and set. Pro peaks can now be on, which are checked. Wing anti-ice, which is off, 28 degrees outside, along with the engine anti-ice. Packs can now go to auto, the isolation valve can go auto, the packs can now be on, along with our engine bleed, so the APU bleed can go off. We can tell the tug that we are ready to go, and we can turn the APU off as well. Engine start switches are continuous, which are set and checked. Running down on our trim, we've got 5.50, which we can now set in. Okay, which is also set and checked. Recall.
Tower is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. I'll see you next time. Have a safe flight.
See you soon. Bye bye. So we drop down into a flaps 5. Tag flaps will be set, and lower display unit can now go off. Okay, which is also set. So we are now all ready to go, as we are ready and set. We've also got everything all set over there. So on for our taxi. So we're going to come out, make it left onto Charlie, and then from Charlie we're then going to basically go down onto the Lima 1. So let's see what the X-Enviro has in store for us today, as I know there's not some great weather down in Salzburg today, so it will make do to see the lovely X-Enviro come out to play. So we can put the TCAS on to standby, we can release the brakes now, and we can power on up to runway 07 right. So the only way to get the X-Enviro to work was to basically use the 2K version of the Zibo. Also had to knock out the 4K resolution, put it down to 1080, and because with the 4K Samsung that I use, the input signal plus and everything, basically I don't need to use any anti-aliasing, so I've got some lines in that because obviously I've changed the resolution. So apart from that, should be a really nice flight. So apologies for the little lines flickering and that, but X-Enviro is quite frame heavy, and so we made some adjustments. But let me know if you want to see more of the X-Enviro. I was going to make a left turn there. So make this left-hand turn now.
If the overhead bin is full, please make sure you close it as a courtesy to other passengers. Please double check that all your items are put away so that the aisle is clear and other passengers can make their way to their seats. If you're in an emergency exit row, please read the exit seating responsibilities in the card in the seat back in front of you. If you're not able to comply with these actions, please let a flight attendant know so that way you can be reseated. You are free to use your portable electronic devices during the boarding process. We ask that larger electronic devices are stowed once we depart from the gate. Thank you and welcome aboard. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard Flight 357 with service to Austria. Our flight time will be roughly 1 hour and 1 minute. Please note the cabin door is now closed. We ask that you make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your larger devices are now shut down and stowed. If you have not already, please fasten your seatbelt and verify it is low and tight across
So I'll see if we can get a reshade to go along with the textures of the clouds as well. As this is the first flight, so we'll do some twigging afterwards, so we can get everything all set and configured. So coming out off of the runway, we're going to have 5,000, which is set.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your complete attention to the flight attendants as they demonstrate the safety features of our aircraft.
Okay, so we'll get ready to do
You will
our
notice a
before
light
takeoff
illuminated
checklist.
above your seat. When this light is illuminated, please fasten your seatbelts low and tight across your lap. To fasten, insert the metal fittings into one another and tighten by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. We suggest that you keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the flight as we may experience unexpected turbulence. Please take a few moments to now locate one of the several emergency exits on this aircraft. Some cases your nearest exit may be behind you. In case of an emergency and we need to evacuate the aircraft, there is lighting on the floor that will guide you towards the exit. In the event of a decompression, an oxygen mask will drop in front of you. To start the flow of oxygen, pull the mask towards you. Place it firmly over your nose and mouth, secure the elastic band behind your head, tighten the straps if necessary, and breathe normally. Although the bag does not inflate, oxygen is flowing to the mask.
Okay, so as we get ready to cross over the whole line,
requires assistance, secure your mask on first and then assist others. Keep your mask on until a member of the crew advises you.
go ahead, get our strobes can go on now, anti-collision lights are on, taxis we forgot, we don't need them now, turn off our runway tunnels.
When instructed to do so, open the plastic pouch and remove the vest.
So cabin crew prepare for takeoff.
Wrap the straps around your waist and buckle at the front. Pull the strap to tighten. To inflate the vest, pull firmly on the red cord only when exiting the aircraft. If your life vest does not inflate automatically, blow into the mouthpieces for manual inflation. Each vest is equipped with a whistle and light. If necessary, your seat cushion can be used as a secondary flotation device. Once again, all devices must be in airplane mode and your larger devices must be turned off and stowed at this time. Please securely stow your personal items. Make sure your seatbelts are fastened and seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position. We remind you that this is a non-smoking flight. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying the smoke detectors located in the lavatories is prohibited by law. All of this information can be found in the safety card located in the seat back in front of you. Please read it and let a cabin member know if you have any questions. Thank you for flying with us again, and we hope you enjoy your flight.
Okay, so we'll line up there. So now we've got the aircraft stopped, we can go for our before takeoff checklist. So parking brake, which is set, fuel flow reset, center pumps as required, we've got them on, which are checked. DIs is off, cabin lights is set, flight instruments are checked. We've got 154 for V2 coming out, 5,000 initial climb onto the 063, coming out on the 065 on the way out on the SID. Everything else we can see, takeoff data, we've got 154, nav equipment is set, we've got 11410. and we are ready for takeoff. So we can go overhead now, get our landing lights, which can go on, which are checked, taxi lights are off, strobes are on and set, and we are all ready to go. We've got TFC already on, which is also checked, and we can now turn on our terrain. So we're all ready to go. So what we can do is we'll release the brakes, we'll go to 40%, full pressure on the yoke. Okay, 40% stabilised and tow down. So we'll come out on heading mode. You can see we've got some wind. Airspeed live.
80 knots.
Check. Throttle hold. 100. Ease back. Road neutral on the column.
V1, rotate.
Rotate.
Positive rate.
Gear up. Auto brake can be turned off now.
400.
400 checked. Our nav can now be engaged, which is set. As it is a little bit rocky now as we climb up now. So we've got 194, we're going to go for our flaps up. Go into flaps 1. Just
1000.
keeping out now onto the 065, 1000 checked. So we go to our climb 1 and our acceleration height. And you can see the winds are getting us. We've got the X-Enviro in as it is clear down here at the moment. But once we get down into Salzburg, it should be a lot more windier. So there's our flaps up, which can go up now. We can set VNAV in. Okay, as we climb for 230. Then we'll go up to 25. That will hold. 5000 is set for our initial climb out. As we're going to hit 250 now. Flight director should bounce back with us. We'll just hold on. Ready for 5,000 feet is where we're going to switch over for the QNH. We'll just lift up a little bit more. So we'll take control of our speed. And then we'll go out into our after takeoff checklist. So positive rate of climb, gear is up and off, which is checked. Engine start switches, which can now be turned off. Okay, which are set. I'm now through 7006 now. As we ride out of the airport, we are now going to make that right hand turn, which is going to take us on to the 109. Okay, which is set. As we come around the bend now, and then from the 109 we're then going to take the 168. So we can come out now, off our climb out, CMDA, which is on and checked. Our altimeter's pushed to standard, which is also set. Above 10,000 feet now, landing lights and runway turn-offs can go off, which are set and checked. Engine instruments can monitor, centre fuel pump now can be turned off. And coming in down on our cruise, engine instruments will monitor fuel quantity, which will check, and lights as required. So we'll go up to our climb speed now and level off for 280. As we now make that right hand turn, which is going to take us on to the 169.
Hotel der Kabinenbesatzung wurde bereitgestattet für die Vorbereitungen aufzustehen. Wir möchten Sie bitten, weiter in die Anstalt.
Flight crew has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign. You can now get up and move about the cabin. However, we ask
So
that
as we just climb up now to 300, then we're going to start back on ascend up through to 28. Seatbelt signs can now go on. Okay, So we are now currently going to be going on for the 168 and then the 203 for Lewis. Let's climb up through 11,000 feet. We are going to go on for Lewis for the 203, so we can see now we're on the star coming out, the SID coming out, sorry. And then there's the 204, we've got the 203, which will then take us to Lewis. So it does look nice coming out. Makes a difference to the sky textures, definitely. So we've got the 203 coming out. Let's make that right hand turn. Straight down into Lewis. So as we go into that right hand turn, passing through 16,002. You can see down in Salzburg the weather currently, we've got a few at 2,000, scattered at 5, broken at 8,000. So it's passed through 19,000 feet now on our way up to flight level 280. It's a lovely Salzburg. Inbound on the runway for runway 15. So don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think of the X-Enviro. And I'll see you all when we get back for our top of descent, ready to come into lovely Salzburg for the INS for runway 15. So I'll see you guys when we get back. Hi guys, welcome back to the flight deck as we're just making our right hand turn to then come back in from Bagni to Duda, where we're going to start our top of descent down into lovely Salzburg, 29 nautical miles out. And we'll see on our legs flight level 280 then 260 as we start to make that descent down. We've got a lovely glare in of the X-Enviro as we come round onto the 296, ready to make that lovely left back onto profile. There's our top of descent just coming in, and we can see as we get some lovely shots. We can go outside and take so as we come round now, ready to make that left hand turn from Bagni to the 202. Okay, which is set. We've got 25 degrees bank as we can go down and get our braking in for the runway. So for our landing, we're coming in for 15. The wind down as we come in for the runway. We have got 120 at 03. Temperature is 17. QNH is 1019. We're going to be coming in for flaps 30. We'll check our landing weight now as we come down, 68.6. 37 to 32, which is 0.5, so 68.1 we'll put in, which goes flaps 30.151. So we'll put in 68.1 here. There's us going down onto the 26, going down onto the 202. Put in 68.1, which is set. We've got our winds, which is 1203. We'll add 5, which is fine, and we'll take auto brake at number 3. Okay, so now auto brake number 3 is set now. As we make this left-hand turn to come round onto lovely Addons. We can show you the plan as well when we do come down over on the runway. So reset the MCP altitude now as we come down. So on forward descent. We can also see leaving out as we come to Badit 4000 above. Not too far away from Badit as we come around. Badit's 4000 above, as we can see there. And as we come around, we're going to go from a doo-doo. So we'll fly all the way down, and it's literally a dead straight circuit down. It's pretty simple. All the way down, dead straight, 202, and as you can see, it pretty much lines up there once we do come in. Coming down for the course for the runway today, we are going to be coming in on the 153. So we've got lovely sun glare as we come in. Okay, 153, which is set. The aircraft's now starting to slow down. We can put the speed brakes to armed, as the throttles are doing okay as they are. So we can get in the NDBs as well. We've got the 382. Okay, which is set. We'll put in on the left side actually. We'll put in the 410. Okay, which is set. And we can also get in the 382. Okay, which is also set. So the NDBs are in, coming down, we're taking 156, so we're going to be looking around about 800 feet per minute coming down on a 3-degree glide path. We get our minimums in as well, so we've got 1682. Okay, which is set, which is going to give us down a 271 decision. QNH's is 1019, which is set. Okay, 1019. We'll pre-arm the reserve as we come down. 1019, which is also set. We're going to be coming down for 4,000 feet. So 4,000 is set now, as we're on the 170. So what we can do is we can start to go into our descent checklist, ready to get the aircraft all down onto the runway. On for the METARs down in Salzburg, we've currently got scattered at 7,000, few at 1,500 and broken at 9,500. So as we come down now, we're going to be making that right to left, down to Storp onto the 166. So there's the 166, which is in, passing through flight level 230. Going for our descent checklist now as we get everything all set and ready to go. So descend, the DIs, which we can have on, which is checked. Landing altitude, which is checked for 1400. We've got 1400, which is 1410, which is also set. The recall we can now set, which is checked. Coming down, we've got our barrow, which is going to be 1682 for a 271 decision height. Auto brake number 3 is set for our arrival. The altimeter passing our transition altitude will be 1019. Transition altitude coming down is 6,000 feet. 10,000. Transition altitude. So 10,000 feet, we'll switch over to QNHs now. Currently down on the 166, we've got 4,000 set on the MCP, which is also set. And then below 10,000 feet, we'll have a speed slow to 250 knots. So our landing lights on, and passenger signs can now come on as we are getting ready on the descent. So we got passenger signs on. Stick our no smoking's back on. And we are now pretty much all ready to go as we come down onto the runway. Ready for runway 15. So we're going to come down to the Salzburg VOR once we hit Badit at 4,000 feet. As we then get down to the Salzburg VOR, we're then practically going to basically run down to the 175, which is going to take us to the 153 to intercept the localizer, which is currently be 4,000 feet. and then 8 DME from the localizer. We're then going to start that 3-degree glide path down for around 800 to 790 feet per minute. Missed approach point is 1.6 DME from the localizer, which is right here, and we've got everything which is all set. The elevation is 1411, which is also set and checked, passing down through 18,000 feet now as we get ever so closer to that lovely airport and we get to brush through them clouds. I will get a night flight so we can get the landing lights going through the clouds as we get the glow, which will be really cool to see and for you guys to see as well. So check the weather ratings. We've currently got down on the weather for Salzburg. As we said, the METAR is currently standing. We've got a few clouds at 1500 feet. We've got scattered clouds at 7000, broken at 9005. Temperature is 17 and QNH is 1019. Humidity is 82%. So as X-Enviro now resets itself, got it set to reset every 15 minutes, so we should get some new weather down in now as we pass through 16,000 feet. Throttles are idle as we're coming down in VNAV path, so once we come down to Degin 291-2684 BIBAG, which will be 10,000 above. So going up speed brakes just a little. As you see, the aircraft speed is just running away just a little bit. Passing through 15,006 on our lovely way to Salzburg. We've got our descent checklist which has already been set. Let's speed brakes in now as the aircraft's currently in arm position, so if we wanted to we could lift the throttles up. As you can see, we do have full access to the throttles that are disconnected from the servo, so we can actually manipulate the throttles. So as we now take a just slant to the right onto the 168, 2 degrees out, passing through 14,004, 10,000 feet. We'll then get the QNHs back in ready for us today as we've got our terrain on. There's a Salzburg where we're going to be intercepting down onto the 153. So as now temperature is going through 10, we can now get the engine anti-ice, which is now off. And as we are going to now start to decel for BIBAG, passing through 13,200 feet. Okay, so we are currently 5 nautical miles from BIBAG as we're going to slow down to the 268. So we'll open up the speed window now, get 250 in as we're going to be passing 10,000 feet. Feet, switch over the QNHs as we get them all set and prepared. Got the ILSs in, which is the 109.90, which is set. We've got the ADFs in, which is the 411 and the 382, which we can also see as well when we do come within view. We'll start to see. So speed brakes are open now, passing through 10,000 feet. We get our landing lights which are on and set. Engine start switches can go to continuous. As we now swing around, taking that left-hand turn to the 163. Okay, which is set. Slow down to 240 now. Auto brake is set to number 3 as well. So we are all configured and ready to come in. Salzburg we are 23 nautical miles out from. Once we hit Salzburg, then we'll take the 175, then intercept for the 153. Currently coming down on the 163 now as we pass through 10,000 feet. About it will be 4,000 above, and then we'll run it all the way down to Salzburg. So just coming in now, currently 10 nautical miles out as we pass under 10,000 feet. Speed brakes can now be released. Pass it through 9,007. speed creeps away, then we'll open up these speed brakes. Okay, so we'll keep the speed brakes open now for the descent down to Salzburg, 4,000 feet above, which is set in the MCP altitude for the course frequencies, which is going to be 153. Passing through 8,009, so the QNH is back now to 1019. Passing through 10,000. On 240, the speed brakes open. As we're going to come down for 4,000 above as we go down near to Salzburg. So we are not that far away now from our arrival down into the runway. As we can see now on the arrival, we are now coming down from Badit, which is 4,000 above. Passing through 8,003. As you can see, the cloud, as we're going past the clouds to the side of us, it's obviously going past through the sun. So 8,000 down, 240. We'll check our speeds now, 203 for Salzburg. As we pass through 7,008. So cabin crew prepare for arrival. As we get ready to blast through the clouds now, cabin crew will do their final checks. Can now set the reserve to 1019, which is set. Passing through 240 now. So lovely, it is very different to have X-Enviro in, it's very nice to have it as well. As you see, as you go through the clouds, you get a little wobble, which is nice to see as well. As we pass down now through 6,006. Go down to 203, so we'll go down to flaps up speeds, and we'll get the flaps open ready just before we do so. We'll go to our flaps up before we get to Salzburg, and then once we get down near to Salzburg, we can then get prepared to go into our flap setting for the arrival. So we'll bring the controls over so we are ready for when we do come, as we are now inbound to the Salzburg VOR. So we'll go in now for our approach checklist. So of the approach checklist, we've got the altimeters which are 1019, which are set and cross-checked on either side. We've got the localizer frequency, which is the 153, which is set on both sides. We've also got the ILS course, and we've got the frequencies, which is the 109.9, which I'm going to switch over now, which are set. Can get the ADFs in as well. So there we go. As we get in both ADFs, they'll come to life as we get closer to the airport, which are set. Once the approach is live, then we'll go down for flaps 15, gear down. As we get ready to come in now, to catch a lovely view from the side. Come down to 2. Turn on to the 175. We can start to get ready to open up our flap. So we've got the localizer and the glide slope, which is also set as well. So the approach can be armed as we get ready to come in now. There we go, ready onto that intercept, which will be for the 153, which is set. So as we come down onto our next speed, which will be 164, we can now switch over as we're on the localizer down to flaps 5. As we make that left turn now, ready into the runway. So speed is checked, 172, there's 4,000, which will hold now for the glide slope. Currently 10 nautical miles out, got the runway in sight as we come down into lovely Salzburg today. So cabin crew, take your seats for arrival. So there's our flaps 5, which is set. Got the approach, which is armed. Once the glide slope's alive, gear down, flaps 15 will be set. Auto brake now is armed, which is also checked. Engine start switches are continuous, which are set, and we can get our runway turn-off lights on now, which are also set as well. We'll get the logo on as it is getting dark, which is also set. Coming down now on the single channel, we're holding 4,000 feet. There's a glide slope coming in, so we can now start to go down to our flaps 15. Gear down. Okay, glide slope is now intercepted, which is also set and checked.
2500.
2500 set. Passing through 3008. We're looking around about 790 to 800 feet per minute on the descent as we come down today. 153 set on our courses, and we are fully established on the ILS. Auto brake is set for number 3. We can now drop down into our flaps 30, which is going to be for a 156, which is also set. Minimums is 271, which is 1682, which is also set and checked. As we drop down now to 156, we've got the airport in sight. So, what we can do now is we can disconnect the autopilot and we can manually fly it out. So, autopilot and auto throttle is disconnected, and now I have full control of the aircraft. Landing lights are on and set. We've also got our runway turn-offs which are checked. Engine start switches are continuous. Auto brake is set for number 3. Now I'm currently coming in for 156 on our VREV 30. So your VREV 30 plus 5. We'll just lift up now. Get back onto the 153. Okay, hold the 156, 1000
feet
checked.
stabilized, Mr. Perch altitude set.
So just on around 2 red, 2 white, we are fully established now, ready to come down. So just make sure we don't lose glide slope as the wind is just lifting us up a little. There it is, 2 red, 2 white. As we come up now, following the glide slope.
Plus 100.
Plus 100.
300. Minimums.
Continue.
200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Okay, speed brakes are up. And reverses are active. Full pressure on the con. 80 knots reverses can be stowed as we now come down to the end, ready to taxi off today. So we can get Loe's charts now as we're going to come off. So we're going to come off onto the right hand side, which we can come now. So we can disarm the auto brake, we can turn that off. As we get ready to turn right now off on the runway. So after landing, transponder can be off, which will set. Flaps can be retracted along with our speed brake, so speed brake can be retracted now. As we retract our flaps up as well, we can get everything all set. The APU will be started around a minute and a half after arrival. So we'll now take that right hand turn to come off of the taxiway, or the runway should I say. Okay, as we just get ready now to turn right. can turn the terrain can go off, transponder can be turned off, which is set. We can turn off both of our flight directors. Go overhead now and get both landing lights. Runway tunnels can be turned on, taxis can go off. Our start switches which are continuous. We can turn these strobes to steady, and the APU can now be started up, ready for us to go. So we'll make that right hand turn, auto brakes are off and disarmed, and the auto throttle's off, so we are now all ready to taxi up to the gate, guys. Hope you enjoyed the X-Enviro as much as I did, and I would leave you with the landing cinematics now of the lovely arrival down into the runway. So take care for now, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the flight, and I'll see you for the next flight available on the channel. So take care for now, guys, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye bye.